So, Palantir has been back in the spotlight recently after Cathie Wood picked up more shares for her ARKW ETF. I'm going to briefly go into what exactly Palantir does, how they make money, and any red flags that investors should be aware of. Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR, was actually somewhat of a meme stock back in October when it IPO'd at $10. There was a lot of hype around this stock in the Wall Street Bets community. The stock hit heights of nearly $40 and is now currently sitting at around $26 a share at the time of recording this video, which chances are it's moved a little bit by then. So, is Palantir really a meme stock like Gamestop or AMC? No. And if you'll let me explain, I think you'll understand why they're different. They are an American software company founded by Peter Thiel, a co-founder of PayPal. Palantir focuses on big data and analytics. They have a sophisticated system built by their team that goes through their clients' data and tries to make sense of it for them, in turn allowing those companies to make better business decisions. Data is the new form of currency for companies now, right? It's precious. Whoever has the most data are usually the winners in the space. So for example, Tesla has the most user data when it comes to their self-driving technology. Therefore, it is logical to think that Tesla will most likely be the winner when it comes to having the best autonomous vehicle technology. But simply having large amounts of data isn't enough. Data needs to be pieced together in visual and easy to understand models so that businesses can better understand their clients' behaviors or how to better approach a difficult problem. Palantir is able to do just this: piece together companies' data and display it in a way which will, in turn, optimize workflow, reduce costs by reducing workforce, and increase efficiency of automated and manned systems. So let me actually give you an example so it's easy to understand. Palantir's largest customer base is in government right now, and believe it or not, Palantir's services they've provided to the government have been pretty controversial. Palantir helps law enforcement agencies collect information about suspects incredibly easily. Cops who use Palantir's software just have to type in the suspect's name and find sensitive information like bank accounts and family relationships. By looking up their license plate number, law enforcement can then get an idea of even the suspect's travel history. While some people would probably argue that it's a good idea for law enforcement to have access to this kind of technology, it's also terrifying for some to imagine a sort of dystopian future where an authoritative regime would have access to this information. But with that being said, Palantir isn't going to sell their services to any government or company that wants it, so we don't have to worry about Palantir handing off their software to countries like China or North Korea. The company's mission is to give the United States and its allies technology that will win wars and protect Western democracy. So if we look at this chart, essentially Palantir is flexing on all their competitors. With Palantir's systems being highly trusted by government national security systems, they receive contracts with more sensitive government information than the rest. This puts them above the competition, above Google, Snowflake, and Salesforce to name a few, which work with lower confidentiality government information. And of course, Palantir is claiming that they will be climbing up to Tier 6, which would trust the company's software with classified government information. And the cool thing about Palantir, I feel, is that they work with businesses and not just government. It can be automotive, healthcare, energy, insurance, mining, airlines, and potentially even more, which is a huge advantage as their customer base could seemingly be limitless. And of course, the reason Palantir has been in the news so much this week is because Cathie Wood picked up 1.5 million shares for her next generation internet ETF, ARKW. She increased her position during the market dip this week and now has roughly 4 million shares, sitting at the 31st largest holding in this ETF. So now onto the main question that everyone is wondering. Is Palantir a good investment right now? Well, simply put, it would seem so. So how does Palantir make money? Well, they have a reoccurring revenue model, meaning people sign up into their ecosystem and Palantir receives continuing payments from their customers, similar to companies like Netflix or Spotify, which is a huge pro in my eyes. And in terms of financials, Palantir grew revenue by 47% in 2020, which is honestly incredible considering they've only been a publicly traded company for less than a year now. 56% of their total revenue is coming from government clients, while roughly 44% is coming from the commercial side. Now, this could be a positive or negative thing depending on how you look at it. While having mostly government firms as customers might be seen as a limiting factor when it comes to the total addressable market for Palantir's data services, US governments also have the power of unlimited funding, meaning they can continue to use Palantir's services without ever having to worry about running out of money. And with Palantir's commercial customers growing, we might be looking at a market where commercial increases more shares of Palantir's market. Now, there is one glaring issue that a lot of people have brought up. Just 1 month after Palantir went public last year, CEO Alex Karp and co-founder Peter Thiel sold a combined 41.5 million shares of the company for more than $400 million. Meanwhile, an SEC filing released last Friday showed Peter Thiel sold another 200 million shares of Palantir between the $25 and $26 price range. So of course, people don't really like seeing insider selling like this, especially when it comes to the company leaders. And to be honest, I don't think this should necessarily be looked at as strictly a bad thing, as they could have simply just been wanting to raise more capital for the company, but that's still unsure. Still, over the last 6 months, there has been $136 million worth of awards and purchases of Palantir stock from insiders versus just $38 million in sales. And of course, you have big-time investors that are continuing to add to their positions. Palantir has even received a buy endorsement from Goldman Sachs, who sees sustainable growth for Palantir in the future. Now, just because large firms and Cathie Wood are buying up shares doesn't necessarily mean that you should. In a lot of ways, Palantir is a complex company, and a lot of their solutions can seem very abstract and intricate, making Palantir a more difficult company to understand than a lot of others. But with that being said, I respect Cathie Wood a lot and can see why she would be taking interest in this company. But please, do your own research on Palantir if you are looking to buy shares. I'm not a financial advisor, of course, but this seems like an incredibly promising company in a valuable industry. Thanks for listening, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.